To make this book, we are going to take this shop piece here and we're going to glue it to this dark pink piece right here. And then this light pink is going to serve as a spine like you would see on a book. But what we're going to do first is we're going to make our fold lines just to make it a little bit easier. I like to take a ruler and this scoring tool, it's from Fiskars. It really helps make a defined crease. Not necessary, but it is something that will make your life a little bit easier. So we're gonna line up this ruler right on that line and just lightly press. And then fold this paper down. Then we're going to do the same thing at the edge here. All right, now we're going to take our glue and put some glue on this dark pink. Then you're going to let that sit. Now, you're also going to want to go in and put this, you are going to want to put it this way. This will store all of the dolls. All right, so I'm just going to come in. I am going to freehand this, but I'm going to make a score line along these tabs here. Your fold, and again making sure to get a really nice solid crease. All right, you're going to put this long piece down first, and then this tab, and then this tab over. Then we're going to attach it to the bottom here. And you're going to want to let this sit for a couple of hours. So I recommend putting something hard like a book or something over here and also on this crease line just to keep things nice and flat. Before we laminate this page, you want to take this and use your scoring tool, or you can use a ruler, or you can just freehand fold it, and you're going to make a line down here. And what we're going to do is we are going to make a line down here to make this foldable. So got this folded. Now I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut all the way down to the edge of this. Then we're going to stick this tab inside here, sometimes you have to make it a little bit bigger. while it's in there, before you glue it, you want to fold it backwards. Get that fold. And then we're going to take our glue and glue this down. I'm just going to use a glue stick for this. I am using a craft glue stick. It's acid free and won't dry with any texture. All right, so we're just going to glue this down. Then we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to laminate it. And when we're done laminating, we're going to take the X-Acto knife and make a light score on here, and it will be able to open up so the girls can change. All right, I have this laminated now, so I'm just going to lightly press, because you don't want to go all the way through the paper, around this door here. All right, now we're going to take this scoring tool here and just going to make a light press on the edge here, just to give that a little bit easier of a time. And then very carefully fold and press that back. And then you have your foldable door where the girls can come in and try on their clothes. Right, everything has been laminated, and now what we're going to do is we are going to attach these little connectors. So again, we're going to use this scoring tool and make a score line so it's easier to fold on these dotted lines. And then we're simply going to glue the pieces together. All right, so we're going to take our piece and just match it up to the picture in here. You can use a glue stick. I do recommend using paper cement. It creates an incredibly strong bond and will prevent warping. When you are gluing the pieces together, I do recommend using a long ruler to get everything lined up. That way, when we put the other pieces on the back, everything will line up properly. All right, now that these pieces are dried, we are just going to glue on one side and stick them together. All right, when you're done, your pieces should look like this. And I'm going to let them sit overnight, and then we're simply going to glue them to the back of each other. All right, once this is stuck together, we're going to let it dry, but then you can fold it into a little book. Now we are going to move on to the hair, and I wanted to share a few cutting tips. Now this is completely optional, but I like to go in and kind of create and cut the edges so the hair looks a little bit more realistic. What you want to do for this is you want scissors that are small. So see how the blade here is not very long? This is going to allow you to make smaller cuts. And what I recommend doing first, so let's cut these pieces here, is to go along the edge, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissor hand, and your scissor hand is going to not move very much, and you're going to turn the paper as needed. So we're going to cut along here, and then we're just going to move. I'm using my left hand because I'm right-handed. If you are the opposite, you would just switch, but my left hand here is turning the page as I go, and this creates a smoother cut. And when you get to these little hair pieces here, it is easier if you cut once this way, and then to make the other cut, you're gonna go the other way. That makes an easier point, and you'll find that you'll get better results. And just be careful to watch your fingers here. Again, this is totally optional to do. Got it done the way you want. This, to me, makes everything look a little bit more realistic. So I have a black stamp pad here, and I'm just going to stamp the edges lightly. And again, we haven't laminated this yet, but you want to take your stamp and put it at about a 45-degree angle and just kind of lightly smooth the edges. And then once we laminate this, it will look really nice and smooth. See, we just have a little bit around the edge, and it kind of smooths everything out, makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now for this hair, if you can see here, there's a little bit of curliness, and what I like to go as close to the edge as possible, and then while still maintaining kind of that curl here. So we're gonna kind of go around just very slowly, and again, I'm just moving my left hand here. And when we're done, we will go in and stamp the edges again. All right, so now we're gonna stamp our edges. For this, I kind of like to go a little over, just to kind of fill in more of those white spots. Okay, now you can see that this is filled in, and it still maintains the curl of the hair. So next, we're going to put these all on a laminating sheet, and we will go from there. All right, for the hair, I've used double-sided adhesive tape, or adhesive foam tape, and I am going to line it up on the little lines here. Sometimes just putting it up across the top is enough. If you feel like it, you can go all the way down. Go ahead and give that a good press, and then you're going to take the top piece and give that a good press. And when you have the doll's head, after you have it laminated, you want to make sure that there's not a wide gap, because that's going to affect the way the hair goes on. Then you can slide it in just like so. If necessary, on the back of the doll's head, you can put a piece of double-sided regular tape and that'll make it a little bit more permanent, but you're able to change hair. The same goes for these pieces as well. And then I have her. Now I've got my bags, and all I'm going to do again after I have it laminated is cut that out. All right, I've got both pieces cut out. I'm just going to get a piece of this adhesive tape or adhesive foam tape. And place it on the back here. Give it a good press. And then you have a purse. I have gone in on the girls and cut with an X-Acto knife. You could also use scissors up to about right here after they've been laminated. And then they can hold the bag. I've also done the same thing with these. And also these. All right, in order to make the girl surf, you're gonna take a Velcro dot. You could also use double-sided tape if you wanted, but I found this is a little bit more permanent. And these are 1/4 inch dots. I like to stick them together first. And you're gonna put it on the surfboard. And then you can fold this back. Forgot to score it, very important. And then you can attach that to the surfboard, and she can go surfing on the wave. All right, I have 2 1/4 inch hook and loop dots or Velcro dots, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on one side here. And then close that on here. This will create kind of a seal, so you have a cute little storing case. Now that this is dry, it simply folds over. You can go in and kind of make a crease. If everything folds, you can stick the pieces right here. Flap opens. There you have it.